Hello, welcome to the Late Night Lounge here on Latte Firm, Friday, the 15th of August, my mother's birthday, and the Barclays is back. And what an ending it could have been at Anfield in the first game of the season. Semenyo with the most glorious run and what we thought would be an equaliser. But however, Liverpool got their way and they stumbled over their first opponents. I've seen enough. The title is coming to the Emirates. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Latte Firm. Really appreciate you guys all joining. Thank you so much for waiting so patiently. We had a couple of audio issues in the background. You will see why shortly when the chaps come on. Let's go straight to the chat. James D, welcome to the show. Says, evening, FK and chat. Evening to you, James. Hope you've had a fantastic week. Hope you've had a fantastic day and hope you're enjoying the Barclays weekend. What a weekend it's going to be. Jizzle McDizzle, evening all. Looking forward to my weekly therapy of late night lounges. Decided to splurge on 2 new shirts for the season to treat myself after a crappy few weeks. Got the home and the third, Chef's Kiss. Come on, you Gunners. I love it. Which is your favorite? Let me know, Jizzle McDizzle. And I hope you've had better weeks. Presumably you mean that from a footballing perspective, but I hope you are very well. Welcome, Paul James, and all of our channel members. Says, evening all. The season has started and I'm so excited, aren't we all? We're very, very excited about what is to come this season. Louis, welcome to the show. I'm ready for the football to destroy my mental health for another 10 months, he says. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I know what you mean, but I'm not sure about that. Nathan says, I hope Bournemouth get relegated. That is the way we're going to be. These hate-alongs, hate watches. That is the right spirit. Vlad, another channel member, says, good evening, guys. The Barclays is finally back and Liverpool are looking shaky. Come on, you Gunners. Gunny Guna says, hello. We are late. I'm sorry, but Liverpool are lucky again. Who here is surprised? Nobody is surprised. It is their DNA to just get through games like that. Awais, good evening to all. Karen, welcome to the show. Really appreciate you joining. Keep the chat active. Really, really pleased to see all of you guys here. Hope you've had a lovely week and we are late. My sincerest apologies, but I will explain all as the guys come on. Dave is in the house as well, says FK must be still drying his hair. Thank you very much for that, Dave. Tonight's show is a new season is upon us. We're going to look at the season ahead for Arsenal. Expectations, ramifications, predictions. Where is it all going to go? I want to get you guys involved as well. So stick around and enjoy your snacks. And those of you that are having ice cream, just get into them now because they're going to melt. It is a sweltering 32 degrees here in London. Hopefully the temperature will relax over the next couple of days. Right, let's bring in. Oh, and I've got the most insane giveaway for Patreon members. And remember, if you're a YouTube channel member, I cannot legally, because of YouTube conditions, put you into any sort of giveaways. Patreons are known as the Latte Firm Ultras. Latte Firm YouTube channel members are Latte Firm Casuals, and that's the way it's going to be. FK is guilty of pulling Wayne and Yembele down in the box. And Berta needs to bid for Semenyo tonight. What a performance, what a goal. Right, let's bring in our first guest. Yembele, how the devil are you?
I'm all right. Sweltering, honestly, sweltering. It's so hot here. I've opened the windows, everything, just a little bit of cool breeze. I've heard tomorrow will be a nice cool 25 degrees. Can't wait, honestly, for that. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good.
Before I say anything, happy birthday to my auntie, obviously. It's
mate, thank you very much. Really, really appreciate that. We just come back from mum's place, had a lovely dinner with the family, and my sister and her boys were all there as well, which was great. We watched the football. It wasn't quite the fairy tale ending for us, but it is what it is. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. You mentioned it's hot. It is hot in London, and I've just made Wayne turn his fan off because of the background noise. So let's see. Let's check out the sweat cam. How are we, Wayne?
If I talk fast, it's because of background noise that I don't want you to hear. So hello, hope everyone's okay.
Love that, Wayne. We're going to have short, concise, articulate responses from Wayne tonight. Wayne, of course, is away for this weekend.
None of this yum stuff.
None of the yum stuff, indeed. My StreamYard is telling me that I'm having connection issues, but my internet speed test is telling me I've got 300 megabits per second. But let me know in the chat if my internet connection looks shaky. Van Dijk looks shaky, says Bush. Oh, Yem's nodding. We'll talk about Liverpool in just a second. Ricky, welcome to the show, says we need FK to give us therapy after tonight's game. Look, tonight's not about therapy. Tonight is about looking forward to what is going to be a glorious season of Barclays football. I am excited. I hope you guys are all too. And we're going to get involved in the live chat. We'll do some polls as well, just to kind of keep you guys engaged and involved. Andy, welcome, says, evening FK, so scared for Sunday. Happy birthday to your mum and God bless. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Ricky's in the house. Mike is in the house. Yeah, StreamYard is a little slow here, actually. I'm pressing the buttons and I'm waiting. There's a little bit of a lag. FK says we are, sorry, FK, mate, we are back. We are back. The Barclays is back. It's good to be here. My apologies for not doing a show last night, by the way. The Daily Grinds was when I went out with some of the boys off socials. Many of you will know. AF Camden and Co. We went sixes in central London, which is insane fun. Those of you that have never been before, it's like a cricket sort of simulator where you play games, silly games, but of course, Baldylocks over here outdone the rest. I know you guys are watching.
I went out with the boys. Oh yeah, I went to play sixes.
Mate, sixes is so much fun. I would love to see you at sixes on world-class settings, Wayne. I would love to see it. I know Metro's been, Wally's been. We got to go.
West Indies heritage respects me a little bit.
True say, actually. True say. I'd love to see Mbele. Right.
Mate, my cricket skills are nothing at all, as in zero. You know this. You went to school with me.
Yes, I know. Right, let's. What are we going to do first? Let's do snack checks first. Then I will lead you guys into the Patreon giveaway, which we're going to do in the next sort of week or so. It's a really exciting one. I don't even know if I've told either of you two about it because I've been busy at work today. So it'd be a mystery to you as it is to the viewers. But let's get snack check out of the way. It is a warm night. A number of you might be chewing on ice cream or snacking on ice cream.
I got to do mine one as well.
Yeah, let me know what you got. All right, go on then, Wayne. Go first. He's already held it up. What you got for us tonight?
I bit the red part off, but it's a rocket lolly.
Classic.
It is a classic
rocket lolly. Yeah, the red part's gone.
Go on, Yem. What you got for us?
I'm doing one that you're going to absolutely hate, but it's a classic anyway. It's the Bounty ice cream.
Oh my god,
lovely. You boys don't know taste.
You know what? I'm so full because of my mother's birthday. I am just going to have cold water because I need it.
By the way, what did you have? Did your mum make?
No. We got some takeout. We had some Indian food, which was a delight. All sorts of curries, naans, just the works, mate. But I'm so full. Like it's getting to that point where I can feel a little bit of the reflux. So I just need something cool and something sweet, and I got some Mentos.
You need a Gaviscon. That's what you need. Gaviscon.
That's what I need. You know what?
I'll
be honest with you. That is my Snapchat right there, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Oh, hello. Just found myself one of these. Delicious. I was just hiding there in the background.
Mate, you put that in with the Gaviscon. That's an interesting combination.
No, I know. Tell me about it. Mike says he remembers AF Camden leaking team news 10 years ago. He is a legend. Bush tonight, he says he's having Haribo Tang Fastix. Dobbo will be very proud of that. Frozen grapes.
My daughter did that today. So she made a fruit cocktail stick out of grapes, yogurt, and some banana. He loved it. I mean,
what? Grapes, yogurt, and banana.
You know my
daughter. Man, you need to let her spend more time with her mum, I think. Get the whole snack sorted. Bounty is elite, says Chrome. Vivlad says no, Yembele. That is just absolutely. Bounty, yeah, exactly. DJ D10 knows. Karen, no, you've gone down in my ratings. I love Bounty, she says. Okay, stop it now. Russell's Heart in a Cage. That is quite the name. Says elite. He's having sour cream and chive Pringles. Wayne is happy.
The green
Wayne
packet of Pringles.
Wayne is happy. Yeah, Sin bin for Yembele, says Henkeho.
No.
What's have I got? Nice cold Michelada to start the weekend. I'm assuming that's some sort of a joke. Chrome says Mentos also elite. They're the fruity ones, so they're just nice and sweet. Perfect. Paul James, look at this. Cherry cake and an ice cold ginger beer, I'm assuming. They are old man snacks. You know it. Gaviscon FC right here. Popcorn says Alison Wilson. Welcome to the show, Alison. There's a name that I don't recognize. Welcome if you're tuning in for the first time. By the way, those of you who are tuning in for the first time, the late night lounges are much longer, relaxed, kind of chill sessions, chill vibes. So stick around, go and do something, come back, join us again, no problem. The daily grinds are obviously the daily features. Tomorrow we're going to have a slightly different feature for a Saturday, looking back at the weekend's action, looking forward to the weekend's action. And then Sunday morning, Alice Talks Footy will join me at 9 a.m. for a Manchester United Arsenal preview. How about that? Feature with a believer. There's 6 chicken spicy McNuggets. I've seen these adverts, yet to try. Can of Copperberg and Mr. Kipling Angel Slices. I mean, what is going on there? Copperberg, chicken nuggets, and Angel Slices.
That's a very eclectic. That's eclectic mix, isn't it? Hold on.
Simon Murray says frozen grapes is elite. in this weather. I need to try it now. And 433 is not having it, Yem. Bounty into the bin.
As I told Wade, I'm trying to educate you Philistines.
Whoa. Magnum Utopia double cherry. Double cherry.
Utopia.
Admin says he's having frozen banana dipped in chocolate.
I didn't know that double cherry existed.
Yeah, me neither. That must be overseas. That's got to be overseas.
Double the cherry. How do
Let me know.
double the cherry?
Let me know. Uncreative handle name, which is fantastic, by the way, says, well, that was a rather chaotic opening game of the season. It was. Want to get all your thoughts on that. Right. Let me take away the Snack Check banner and let me just show you a very short video, ladies and gents, boys and girls. This is the first Patreon giveaway of the new season. In a couple of weeks' time, Mikel Arteta will be doing an audience with an intimate group of people at the Londoner Hotel on September Friday. There's something. It'll come up in the video in a second. And I have a pair of tickets for one lucky Patreon member to come and join me and be in the crowd and hopefully sort of hear from Mikel on leadership and what it's like to be performing at the highest level of sport. And if you guys are free, that would be fantastic to come. If you cannot make it and you happen to win the draw, which we'll do maybe in next Friday's show, I will give you vouchers to enjoy for yourself or your loved ones for Arsenal.com. So you can buy some merch for yourself. And there is a promotional video from the Leadership Playbook, which I'm going to play just now. So turn your speakers up. Yembele and Wayne, if you put yourselves on mute for just a second, I think it's about 90 seconds, but watch it. Hopefully, very, very fun. Here he goes.
Today I want to see a team that is connected with each other and that shines.
Every one of you guys is going to help us win games this year. And we're going to slowly but surely find our way. We're going to keep getting better and better.
You want to transmit to him light and energy and passion and how you play football. And each of us play the game connected. That we connect with 60,000 people that creates more energy.
The sky's the limit. We can get so much better. That's what's exciting. But what I love is your approach, the way you support each other, the energy you bring. We're going to keep doing that all year. Time.
And you're on mute, Faisal.
You're on mute. Well done. Good hosting job there. Well done.
Wonderful stuff. Absolutely wonderful stuff. Well, there you go, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Steve Kerr, basketball legend and current coach. Mikel Arteta, of course, Arsenal legend and hopefully future legend of the football game. We'll be talking about leadership, the pressure to deliver under such circumstances at a venue in London on Friday, early September. And I will give away a couple of tickets to one lucky Patreon member to come and join me and be part of a very intimate audience. There may even be a chance to meet the gaffer, but I can't give too much away. If you are unable to attend because of the date or because you're overseas or because you just can't make it or don't want to make it, which is completely understandable, I will allow you to have some vouchers to Arsenal.com to buy some merchandise for yourself or for some loved ones. Like I said, so I don't break any YouTube rules, it is available for Patreon members only. So go over to Patreon, support the channel, and we will do something there. Thank you very much, everybody. I know that I was on mute for a while. Bush says, wow, Steve Kerr is an amazing coach and leader. Absolute legend. Russell says these are the standards. I know. Tell me about it. Nathan says taking the fogging standards to the NBA. Mikel is a guy with words. I was smiling all along that video, reminding myself of all those glorious moments from All or Nothing, which I'm sure uncreative handle name says, well, that looks like a great giveaway. Hopefully someone will enjoy that. So thank you very much for that. And it's not quite a day night, Henker. Come on. All right, let's get to the football. Chaps, the Barclays is here. How are we feeling, first of all? I mean, the countdown for me this week has been long and painful. I'm buzzing about Sunday. We'll talk about that shortly. But How are we feeling just about the season and football finally being here? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward. I was looking forward to this game massively as well. You know, the start of the Premier League, actual meaningful football with some, with some consequences as well. And tonight's game actually was really enjoyable because it gave us a chance to look at, our competitors. You can't deny they are going to be the standard bearers, and just to, have some, preseason friendlies are very good to watch. You know what the tactical setup is, but for the drama, you cannot beat the Barclays. It just doesn't do anything. It's so different. And tonight, it could have been such a good one, but it just shows how good the game is. And yeah, Liverpool, I like it. I like what I'm seeing in terms of, I think it's going to be a tight Premier League. I think there is. It looks good as long as we can start well, and we'll talk about that. But yeah, the result wasn't the greatest today in terms of for us, but I saw enough there. I think we can all acknowledge we saw enough there to say, yeah, it's not going to be as easy as it was last season for Liverpool, I don't think.
Well, Patrick Carlson says Liverpool look awful. Andy says even with tonight's game, they still win 2-0. We feel a bit down, but we saw vulnerabilities, which is great. I think that's what Yen was trying to say in a really long-winded way. Why say 10 words when you can say 600, right? Anajit says, what a wordsmith. What a great game for the opener. Absolutely loved it. Really appreciate that. AP say, look, FK, please don't go to the match. So the jinx is over. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, the jinx is over. We won there last season. I have the evidence that I was there and I saw Arsenal win against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Gravenberch missing tonight. Let's not forget how important he is. And Chiesa coming back from, I don't even know where, getting what was, I guess, winning goal.
But do you know what gave me more hope? Fullbacks. For both fullbacks being taken off at the same time tells you that's where it's going to be. That's where they're going to have problems. Because,
well, let's not forget, Hengeho also making a really good point. It was an emotional night for Liverpool, of course. Big farewell to Diogo Jota. Beautiful moment at the start of the game. The Kop with their display. It was absolutely sensational, to be fair, as a viewer, just sort of watching that. Liverpool certainly know how to do those sorts of things, and it was just immaculate. And of course, it was an emotional night. Mo Salah in tears towards the end as well.
It's just
Wayne.
It's just a shame that obviously on the night it's been overshadowed with an awful incident with Semenyo, reported racist abuse that was kind of thrown his way. It seems like from a throw in, and it's just sad that we can't even get 30 minutes. We can't even get a half of football through the season just started. First game, can't even get through the first half, and an incident like that is happening. And yeah, it's just really sad for me. Like I was buzzing, like you guys. I was excited. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan of the new Sky intro music for the Friday night.
No,
football.
I'm not either.
I think it will have to grow on me. But yeah, an incident like that. And do you know what kind of deflated me before that? Obviously, it's nowhere near the scale of importance of like racism and stuff like that. Just VAR being VAR already after 15 minutes. Just just give us normality for a year, please, or at least a game. Just give us normality for one game.
I guess, I mean, you're on the mic, Wayne. Obviously, that's a serious issue with Semenyo. We don't want to see any of that in football. How are you feeling about the new stadium? I mean, it's here, it started, full set of fixtures tomorrow. Arsenal obviously in action on Sunday.
Listen, I'm just glad that we're back in action. I think this is the longest that I've personally been without football for a number of years, because we've had international tournament, COVID, where sort of the season kind of stopped and then went into like July and then came back in August. So it feels like for the past sort of 4 or 5 years, we've been non-stop with football. And thankfully, I could just completely separate myself from football when we went out really of the Champions League semi-finals. Obviously, the Champions League final is what, two weeks after the end of the season normally, or 10 days after the end of the season. That's like a nice long break there, and we weren't in the Club World Cup. So this is the longest I, as an Arsenal fan, have been without football for 4 or 5 years, and I'm really excited that it's back for us. And I'm feeling really good. We've had not the best summer, but we've had a pretty good summer by our standards. Still some work to do, but yeah, bring it on.
Well, I've seen your predictions, and I can see why, Wayne, you are in a good mood. So let's wait and see what the predictions have to show. Ashley says, FK, it's been called the Barclays for years, mate. I think you mean to say it's not been called the Barclays, but it is going to be called the Barclays. It is the Barclays indefinitely. It is the Barclays forever. 433 says, prime Barclays opening weekend. Can't wait for Sunday. Right, let's bring up the slides. Before we tuck into predictions and what we think is going to happen throughout the season, I want to get your thoughts on this story that broke this week. Tony Adams, Arsblog did correct me because apparently it was an interview in Ireland from over a week ago, but it's been clipped up and released just in the last couple of days, just before Mikel Arteta's first press conference, just before our opening game of what's going to be a grueling first sort of 6 to 8 weeks in the Premier League. Tony Adams, Mr. Arsenal legend, saying that you will basically not win the league title with Martin Odegaard as captain and that he should be stripped of it. And Declan Rice, who is a winner, should be the captain of this fine club. Yeah, not ideal, but what did you make of it all?
I'm going to preface this a little bit by saying that Tony Adams is an absolute Arsenal legend, and his opinion, someone else put it very eloquently, his opinion and what he and the way when he can say it absolutely matters. He has earned the right to do that. But respectfully for me as well, I do not agree with him in this case. I think the game has moved on. Captaincy is not the same as what it was. It is not about one man screaming, shouting from the back from a certain position. It's now moved on. It's much more holistic. It's much more front facing. Players don't respond to just shouting all the time. It's not that. That's not how it works now. Arteta put it best today. The squad voted on this, and he has been the outright choice. He is, for me, I've not seen anything wrong with him. I think, yes, he's been out of form last year, but does changing it to Declan Rice really change our winning, our mentality? I don't think so. I think our mentality is there. I think we have we have that last step to go through. I think Odegaard's got that last step to go through as well, but I don't think changing the captaincy now would change anything for me personally. I think he's done a good job. I want to see him win because he has done so much for the club. He's not going to shout. He's a quiet player. He does it with actions. But from all that's been said, in the background, he has been nothing but a model captain. He does all the events. He talks to players. He sets up all the events, player events, etc. So for me, I think it's a little bit out of touch, personally, is my opinion. I respect Tony Adams as a captain, as a person, what he's done. But personally, for me, it's moved on. I don't think I think Erdogan's been a good captain, and I hope that he's the captain that wins us something this season.
Hello, Forder in the chat says, evening all, welcome to the show, my good man. Toby Toby Wayne. Someone else had just mentioned Gabrielle straight after, so that's what stuck in my head. Wayne, let me start that again. Toby says, Rice should be captain, and Jonathan says, Rice or Gabrielle is our real captain. And I completely understand why some of the Arsenal fan base will be looking at Arsenal players that they like, players that they perhaps idolise, players that they just warm to or find a connection with and just think, yeah, I'd love that guy to be captain. I completely understand that. But when the words come from someone who is associated to the club, who gave us such outstanding service, who is a legend, and someone whose comments will make their way to the group of players, will make no mistake, Martin Odegaard might have been texted about this, WhatsApped about it, talked about it, obviously by the gaffer. The news will have reached him. It's not going to make him feel great. What did you make of it, Wayne?
Yeah, it's not going to make him feel great. But you said if this makes its way to the players, it doesn't seem to have any difference. Arteta's come out today and said, oh, the club and the players have unanimously voted Odegaard to be the captain again next season. They make that decision. They're the ones that are in the dressing room. And at the end of the day, Odegaard leads through more than just shouting and through more than what we see on the pitch. And I know a lot of Arsenal fans kind of criticise him for waving his arms and stuff like that, trying to get the crowd going. But he does a lot more than that. And look, everyone that's an Arsenal fan loves Tony Adams. He is Mr. Arsenal. He is our greatest ever captain. But I don't think captaincy nowadays is the same as what it was. And you can think that's a good thing. You can think that's a bad thing, potentially, on your opinion on it. But I don't think Tony Adams was part of a leadership group. He was just the leader. The likes of Gabriel and Declan Rice would be part of the leadership group. So him saying that, look, I think it's disappointing that it's come just on the start of the season. I think that's really the timing of it is really disappointing. Whether or not he kind of controlled the clips and stuff like that, we'll obviously never know when it was said. Obviously, Arse bloggers said it happened a week ago, or whatever. It's a shame that it's come out on the eve of the season, but at the end of the day, it's his opinion. He can say it. It doesn't really mean much. And I think on the flip side of it, Declan Rice had a lot of fun this week at an Arsenal event at Highbury House, and he has a lot of fun sort of with the internet and social media and stuff like that. On the flip side, if Declan Rice was our captain, and Declan Rice, stand-up model captain that everyone says he is, was rapping on a microphone 3 days before the start of the season, I guarantee you some Arsenal fans, potentially Tony Adams himself, would have a problem with that because he wouldn't be seen as serious. He wouldn't be seen as taking it properly. So, look, as long as the club and the players are comfortable with Ødegaard being the captain, I have no complaints whatsoever.
Yeah, I think you nailed it before about saying that the modern game is about multiple leaders, and my take on it to Arseblog just a couple of days ago, in case you guys are new to tonight's show, those of you watching, do check that out. It's on the channel feed. Was that I think Martin Ødegaard is deemed as a very intelligent, very calm player under pressure, which I think is particularly important in this sort of day and age. The coach on the pitch, as Clive Palmer likes to describe him from the Arsenal Vision podcast. And he seems to me like the model pro. You know, every time you hear him speak, he's very humble, he's very team orientated. And the whole sort of admission today that he was by a mile the favourite amongst the players to be the club captain, I think is very telling. I also think that when you strip the captaincy away from someone who is going to be part of your squad 3-4 days before a season starts, you know, that might elevate someone like Declan Rice, but that's a separate conversation. I'll come back to that in a second. But what does it do for Ødegaard? Does it maybe add a bit more pressure to him? Does it maybe make him feel any better about himself by having the captaincy stripped off him? And when I come to Declan Rice, just got to kind of closing that circle, you know, what is Declan Rice going to do that he's not already doing just by giving him the armband? Like, the guy is already a leader, vocal, pointy, shouty, you know, endurance athlete, gives everything on the pitch. I love all of that. Complete warrior of a player. But like, is he really going to change just because he's got the band on his arm? And likewise, there's a pecking order. You know, people talk about Declan Rice, but like Bukayo Saka always gets the armband when Ødegaard goes off. So are we sort of saying that Rice, you know, surpasses B in the running order? I mean, I don't know. I think it's completely unnecessary. And like so many of you have said in the chat, I think it was Alison who made a really excellent point. The timing's just off. You know, the comments are just not fair. Here she is, sorry. Tony Adams' comments were not fair. I was disappointed with what he said. Everyone is different. And Mikel Arteta will know. And, you know, Arteta has played in many dressing rooms with lots of fiery characters, particularly his time at Rangers and at Everton. It is not about pointy, shouty, you know, being 6'4" in the tunnel. I took so many pelters on social media for just engaging in conversation with one person. And everyone's, oh, you know, you need to have that fear factor in the tunnel. You know, Declan Rice standing in the tunnel is going to like, mate, he's still there. He's still standing there. Saliba's, they're not going anywhere. Saliba, Gabriel, Declan Rice, like, just leave it as it is. And I think that the timing of it, I think, is really, really, really terrible for Arsenal. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I think that news would have filtered across the Arsenal boys. It probably would have made its way onto the training sort of pitch at Colney. It would have been a talking point, and it kind of just distracts from what's supposed to be a really exciting few days. Any closing thoughts on this? No? Okay. Let's move on. Make Eze captain, says Nathan. Don't get me started on Eze. Saeed, welcome to the show. This year, no trophies, no Arteta, new captain. Karma. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Right. Okay. But obviously, you know, when the chat's so fast, it's so difficult to just, I press a button and I'm just hoping that it's going to be clean and, you know, a reasonably intelligent comment. And every now and again, you just get one that's like, oh, the world's falling apart. DJ D10 says down to earth and intelligent on and off the pitch is Martin Ødegaard, of course. And 433, no doubt. I do not doubt this. Uncle Clive Palmer having a great take on it earlier on the Arsenal Vision podcast. Sadly, at work today, not had a chance to listen to either Arscast or the AVP. Arscast apparently naming Latte firm today. There we go, boys. We've made it. The OG Andrew of the Arscast, of course, Latte firm just a couple of nights ago. Right, let's move on to the main stuff, which is the new Premier League season is here. And we've seen this slide a couple of times before, but let's just reinforce chaps. We've not made any new additions since what we've seen on screen. We've not done any further contract announcements as we might have hoped for. But according to Sky Sports on that bottom right-hand graph, more summer signings before a pre-season tour than in recent years. And that is a statement, I think, from Arsenal. That is there is an intention there to get business done early and to get them, integrated into the sort of squad and during sort of pre-season. We had a lovely way to finish off the pre-season at home in the Emirates Cup last weekend, and it is Manchester United on Sunday. But is it enough, Wayne, in terms of readiness to win the Premier League? I know we've just seen Liverpool stumble across the line against Bournemouth, but they might have one or two shiny toys to come still. Chelsea moving mad in the background, still after a defender, still after maybe another attacking midfielder. City have gone early before the Club World Cup, but Pep's still making noises. They've just let McAtee and Grealish go. Are they, maybe readying themselves for a move for Rodrigo? And Manchester United, our opponents on Sunday, 2 weeks ago, sacking their dinner ladies and offering a soup kitchen for their staff. And here we are, start of the season, 3 new forwards, £300 million, plus maybe an approach for Belieber. What do you make of it all, Wayne? Are we ready? Are we going to win this league?
I think we're absolutely ready to win the league. I don't think we're favourites to win the league right now. I don't think we've got the best starting 11 in the league at the minute, despite the signings that we've made. But I think we've drastically improved from last season. I think we're ready to win the league in terms of our squad depth and in terms of the quality players that we've got coming back from injury. The question marks come over the use of those players. Now, I'm hoping that Arteta has learnt from not only last season, but the last few seasons, where his player usage, his rotation hasn't necessarily been the best. This year it has to be spot on. It has to be right every single time. And not only rotation from the start, but bringing players on earlier than the 60th, 65th minute. If you see something wrong at half time, make a change. If you see something wrong in the 60th minute, don't just bring off Martinelli, for example, for Madueke. Maybe bring Madueke on for Rice or Zubimendi and try a different formation, try a different setup, things like that. But I think that we've got as many, or I would say 95% of the profiles and types of player we need. I think the big question mark is obviously on that left-hand side. And against Bilbao, we saw a slightly different setup with Rice dropping a little bit deeper, and I think that helps us quite a lot. I hope that we see that against Manchester United and going into the season, because I think that really frees up our attack. But we do still need a top quality left-hand side option from the left wing. And we've still got time to do that. So as of right now, yeah, we're absolutely ready to win the league. As of today, as of this conversation, Liverpool haven't signed Isak yet. It might still happen. But again, we might also sign a left winger. Manchester City, I'm expecting, like you, them to go mad with something at some point. Like, it's going to go crazy. But their defence has a lot of questions as well. So, yeah, we're absolutely ready to win the league, assuming that we don't have the catastrophe of injuries that we had last season.
Yembele, I mean, look, same question to you. And by the way, a couple of you have mentioned that there's some audio disruption. If you could just let me know if that's from whom. Is it Wayne? Is it Yem? Is it me? Potentially me. StreamYard seems to be doing some very funny things this evening. So do let me know if there is some audio disruption. And my apologies for that, of course, chat. Yem, readiness for the season. But I guess also lead us on to expectations this season, Yem. I mean, we're going to do our predictions shortly. But, what's the bare minimum that Arsenal, Arteta, Berta have to deliver this season?
It has to be one of the major trophies we talked about in a couple of episodes ago. We have to win something this season, and it can't be one of the lesser trophies. Look, we've debated it at length about the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup. Look, the league and the Champions League have to be the target. We got to the semi-finals of the Champions League. We've been second in the league for a number of years. We have now got to progress towards going for the championship. We should be there or thereabouts, because again, the league is a tough one. There's no doubt about it, but we should be right in the mix for it. And if we're not challenging, then there are serious considerations. So for me personally, the league and the Champions League is the ones we should be targeting. And how we go about that is going to be interesting, because obviously, as Wayne put it really eloquently, we have the squad. The squad depth, I think, is probably one of the best I've seen from an Arsenal team in the last few years. We have quality in pretty much every area. We have, the ability to change games now for the first time in a long time. But Arteta does need to use that squad properly. He needs to do it early enough that they have an effect. Doing it for 5 or 10 minutes towards an end of game is not helpful at all. They need at least 6, this whole 70-minute thing, which we all know about. If you go to an Arsenal game, you will have seen Arteta waits till 70. It was a very Wenger thing as well. And we cannot have that because it doesn't affect the game enough. What we need is for Arteta to be proactive, to look at the game and say, we are losing this one. Let's bring on the Maduekes. Let's bring on the Trossards. Let's affect the game. Let's bring on Havertz to work up front with Gyökeres. I'm spouting, tactical changes, but these are the questions, these are the things that Arteta needs to realise, as well as rotating well for the cup games, because I do not want to see, and we keep going on about it in a number of episodes, Bukayo Saka or any of these players playing against lesser teams in the Carabao Cup. This is for the youth players, the Daumans, the Wanieris, the ones who need game minutes to play, because it works in a number of ways. Because as well as that, we're talking about, why aren't we selling well? Why don't we sell well? Well, a number of these players are not in the shop window. How do you get them in the shop window? You play them. And Arteta needs to realise that, yes, we want to win everything. But if you do that, what will happen last season will happen again, where the players are run into the ground and we'll have hamstring injuries and injury endings, season-ending injuries. So for me, we're absolutely there. We are in the mix. The biggest factor, I think, as well, and I know I'm going on a bit about length about this, but Gyökeres, how Gyökeres actually will take to the Premier League and lead the attack. Will he give us the goals we expect? Because if he does what we expect and scores a number of goals, then I think that changes the expectation a little bit more to help us get over the line. I'm not saying necessarily he's going to, him alone is doing that, but it's, him being there and adding goals to the game, to our game, will certainly help that. But I'm like Wayne, I think we are ready, and I think we're in the mix. The last 5% is obviously what we would like. Whether that happens is another matter.
Why are you smiling, Wayne?
There's a comment from Omar that's hilarious.
Let me get to it. Imran says Arteta has been indulged and treated princely by content creators and his supporters for almost 6 years. Interesting. Reggie Perry, you had a great comment a moment ago. This is obviously a response to something, and I just can't find it because I'm hopeless. My apologies for that. I think I've just read that one. Paul James says we need to win the Champions League or the Premier League. It really is that simple. We cannot be the bridesmaid yet again. That is pretty difficult. Chrome says I've got us coming second, but winning the Champions League and the League Cup. Oh, don't get Wayne too excited. And Omar says, yeah, my guy, you look young for someone born in 59. He looks about his age, to be fair. 59. Great decade. Wouldn't know though, would we, Wayne? Look, Wayne, you've had your say on, hopefully the audio is coming out better now. But Wayne, you've had your say on the pressure on Mikel Arteta. You want us to go strong in all 4 competitions. What's the bare minimum for you to not have to have a conversation around Mikel's future?
A trophy. Any trophy. I've said this before. I'll say it again. For me, it's a trophy, any trophy, and not in exchange for finishing 8th or 13th or 15th. I'm not saying I want to win the Carabao Cup and finish 15th. Like I don't want to trade our season for Spurs this season, for example, last year. I don't want that. But good sides win trophies when they're good. And for us, I think we need to take advantage of the window that we have. And I've said time and time again, psychologically, I truly believe once we get that first one over the hurdle, psychologically, that will boost us on to just giving us that winning mentality. You have to get the first one as a group.
Even if it's just a Carabao Cup, like Jonathan says. Really?
Even if you win a Carabao Cup and you finish a close second in the Premier League, you can call yourself at the end. You've had a good season at the end of it. Obviously, you don't just want the Carabao Cup. In an ideal world, we'd win all 4. I'd love that. I'd love us to win all 4. But you have to learn how to win somewhere. And at the end of the season, if you've just won a Carabao Cup and finished in the semi-finals of the Champions League, you'd finish second in the league, you finish in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, whatever it might be. Yes, you'll be disappointed with those other 3, but you can look back at the end of the season as some sort of success because you've come away with silverware, something that we've not done for 6 years.
Uncreative handle name says, for me, the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup don't come into the conversation. If, however, we finish second and get into a Champions League final, then Ian says, not personally bothered about domestic cups. Not a lot of people that think the Carabao is worthy. Talking of insufferable, Wayne, Stuart says, Jamie Carragher had enough of him already. Look, Carragher should not be doing Liverpool games.
No, Sky
he's
needs
too
to
much
make
of a
that
fan.
decision. Sky need to make the decision. Keep Carragher off Liverpool games and keep Neville off United games.
Let me start a poll. Let's do this now. What's the question here? Is the Carabao Cup a significant
trophy? Yeah.
Achievement for you? Yes or no? Right. There are hundreds of you watching live on YouTube. If you're tuning in for the first time and enjoying the content, please do, of course, subscribe to the channel. Get involved in the chat. Thank you for all of that. And, of course, all of your support via the channel memberships and also Patreon.
The thing on it as
well, the question to Wayne, go on.
No, I was going to say the thing that as well, looking at some of the comments, was I think there's one there from Omar again. I hear what you're saying, Wayne, but questions will still be asked of the manager. I promise you, we could win the Champions League and Premier League double tomorrow.
No. And you're completely wrong, Wayne.
I guarantee
you. It wouldn't even need to be the double. If Arteta won either of those, everyone would shut up.
Even I'm not talking about
everyone.
I'm not talking about just our fans, though. But everyone wouldn't shut up.
Oh, mate, they would. You're so wrong. If Arsenal were champions tomorrow, no one is talking about Arsenal.
FK, you know this media.
I know.
It would be because of Liverpool's injuries, or the same thing that we done with Liverpool last year. But it would just be it would be how lucky we are. It would be a reason that we didn't necessarily deserve it. There's always going to be questions about us as a club, no matter what we do. So just win whatever you can.
People
but if you win the Tin Pot Cup, no one is going to remember that one. That's the thing. If you win the big one, yes, there'll still be noise, but the noise is lessened because you won the big one. You win the Carabao Cup, it's like, well, they didn't win the big one then, did they really? So I would rather take the less noise in winning the big one and go for that than
I promise you, the big one will become the one that we don't win. If we win the Premier League, but you can't do it in the Champions League. If we win the Champions League, go and win the league then. I promise you, there will always be an answer to diminish what we've done. I promise you. It's just the way that it is against us.
I can't see it. If we were to win either of the big two, I think everyone would just shut up and they'd find a new victim. Mide, I think you've just joined. Hopefully you pronounced your name correctly. I think you've just joined late and watching a little bit behind. Says Care and Arteta. Wow, two of the teams I support indeed. If you are a Patreon member, you will go into that draw next week and you'll have a chance to be in a very intimate audience to learn about leadership from those two absolute dons in the game. Boston says, didn't wait 5 years for a Carabao Cup. I'm sorry, it's got to be major. FA Cup minimum. And when needed, says Champions League is the dream. Right, let's now move on to the individual predictions that we've made for players. So chat, those of you watching, I've asked these two chaps, as we do pretty much most years, to name me their expected star of next season. So Arsenal player of the season. I've asked them to name their unexpected star performer of next season. So someone who's maybe got a bit of criticism or there's a bit of heat or is just being sort of written off. Can he come back and deliver? Then I don't want to say disappointing player of the season, but it's along the lines of, should have expected more, let's say, award of the season. Then we'll talk about Golden Boot, and then we'll talk about how far you think we're going to go in the title race and, of course, all the domestic cups. Before I do that, let's just end the poll. The hundreds of you that are watching now. So they asked the question that I asked. I can't even find the poll. Where the hell is the poll? Why does YouTube do this every time? It's so frustrating. I asked the question, is the Carabao Cup a significant achievement in your eyes? And for whatever reason, the poll, it's ended beautifully. 75% of you say no, it is not a significant
God, some sense.
Thank God. Some decorum.
I don't want to see any of you at Wembley then. You're not invited. Don't come to Wembley with me. I'll sit there by myself.
To be fair, Jizzle McDizzle does say, agree with Wayne, the media hate Arsenal.
That's obvious.
But T is saying Carling. Do you remember that? The milk cup, the Coca-Cola cup, the Carling cup. Totally irrelevant. Community Shield carries a lot more weight. A tough debate would be Tin Pot or Europa League. Community still carries more weight than both. Ooh. Star Screamer says FA Cup is minimum. Look, when we used to win doubles. I know we did win the double, by the way, the double domestic cup competition back in 1993. Right. Yeah, let's just keep disagreeing with Wayne. Please, just keep that active in the chat. Right, I want to hear your thoughts as we do this, by the way. Everyone's gone early. Anajit says, unexpected star is Martinelli. Definitely. I didn't think of him. Uncreated handle name says star of the season is going to be Zubamendi. I wonder which of these two thought that. So first up, chaps, I asked you to think about your star performer of 25-26. And Wayne, you're going to go first. Before you name the player, give us a couple of lines as to why. And tell us who your star performer of next season is going to be.
Can't remember who I said.
It's been a long day.
Of course.
But there you go. Of course. There you go. Of course. Why is Bukayo going to be your star performer of next year?
Because he's our star man now. He's been our star boy. He's now our star man. We saw just how much we missed him at the second half of last season when he was injured. His preseason was a little bit disappointing, like for the first couple of games, but then he really turned it on in the final couple of games. I think if we continue this new setup, this new shape, and allowing him into a position where he gets in 1v1 against defenders and isn't double teamed and triple teamed every single time, then he's going to be up there with goals and assists. And for the life of me, I've told you this before, FK, when we do sort of phone-ins, anyone that doesn't say Saka, I'm doubting your Arsenal knowledge, because he's everyone's son, and he is just, I think this is the year, really, that he cements himself as one of the best in the world. And we know it as Arsenal fans for the most part. We know that he's up there with the Salahs, with the Viniciuses, with the Yamals, whatever, on sort of wide positions. But I think on a global scale, especially in the Premier League, although I don't really care about their opinion, there's a lot of, Saka limps, Saka does this, that. I think this is the year, assuming he doesn't get injured again, he just absolutely explodes.
There's a lot of support for Bukayo Saka. It is obvious, an obvious sort of pick because he is star boy now becoming star man. There's no doubting his ability. There's no doubting the influence that he has on the team. I'm nervous just about how much longer we have to wait to see him back to his brilliant best. Now he's getting there. He scored some incredible goals, obviously post his sort of injury recovery. I still think he's got 1 or 2 years to go in him, but if he gets back to his full fitness and he gets back to that form, and of course now Arteta's added a little bit more excitement down the left-hand side and through central zones, I think he's going to probably stop being tripled up on, maybe doubled up on this season. I think he's going to do some serious damage, some serious numbers. But Dembele's gone against the grain. He hasn't gone for Bukayo Saka. He has gone for Martin Zubimendi, your star performer of the season, Dembele. Why?
Because I've seen enough in pre-season to tell me that this boy is going to be absolutely special. I look, Bukayo Saka is everyone's favourite son, and I think he's going to have a superb season as well, especially as Wayne said, that he will, if he gets space that we saw in the Bilbao game, he will definitely start to shine. But Martin Zubimendi is the one who's going to give him that space. He's the one who's going to be spraying the passes out, who's going to link the play. It creates a problem as well in that he is going to become this single point of failure that if he's out of the team, we're going to look terrible. I think, and this is my prediction, that this boy is going to become our Rodri almost. He is going to be almost a linchpin in our side. I've already seen it, and this is his first few games with us, and he already looks so comfortable in there. I love the way that him and Declan were rotating, the way he moves things forward. He's so graceful. He's really good at intercepting. Give him some time in the Premier League, he is going to be one of the best. I think this season he's already going to be, one of the best players. I'm so looking forward to him just bedding in, and him and Rice having. I hope Arteta sticks with this pivot because it's getting me excited. Oh my!
You get a lot of praise in the chat for your knowledge. I mean, please, ladies and gents, don't give him this guy a bigger head. He won't fit on screen in a second. Omar says, "Age comes with wisdom." Zubimendi. That should be the word. Zubimendi is going to be the most influential change from last season, says Mike Jones. Zubimendi looked electric, says Dan. Just to kind of echo your thoughts, Jem, you've seen enough in preseason. He's going to be a real ball raiser. ball raiser. He'll be a ball raiser
It's
and a
a
bar
ball
raiser.
raiser. It's going to be a ball
It'll be a
raiser.
ball raiser and a bar raiser for us. And Guna73, who is Dave, obviously a Patreon member and YouTube channel member. That's insane. So Zubimendi is our new system player. I can't really knock that shout, Wayne. I mean, I've not tried to knock Saka, to be fair, because I think it is going to be him, although Jurrien Timber was my player of the season last year because he was absolutely fucking outstanding. Zubimendi's a great shout. I mean, what we've seen from him so far, he looks absolutely phenomenal. He looks like he's ready-made for the Premier League. And I've said it in a couple of daily grind features where we've looked at sort of midfield options and the sort of tactical analysis. When you think about Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard, I can't think of a better trio in the Premier League.
Neither can I. And
that was to Wayne.
It's all right. Go on, Yem.
Yeah, go on, Yem. All right, go on, Yem.
Talk away.
Finish your point, man. Go on. We got time. We got until Sunday 4:30. Don't worry, mate.
Do you know what's got me up my goat? That the Chelsea fans have said, "Oh, Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer and Caicedo are going to be the best midfield pairing." Get off it! Come on, people. Anyone with ball knowledge has an inkling of ball knowledge can see it. Martin Zubimendi, Declan Rice, and Martin Odegaard. Oh my god, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
I've seen a lot of this, chaps. Zubimendi is a Fabregas reincarnated. I mean, he's got the pass, but Cesc was special in a very different way, and I think Zubimendi is going to be special in another way.
I don't think Zubimendi's got the necessarily the goals or the assists in him that Fabregas had. I imagine he'll contribute with a couple here and there, but not to the level of Cesc. But he will open up the play from time to time, like Cesc did, like Cazorla did. It's just they just seem to have it in Spain. Really, midfield is where they dominate.
Indeed. Right. Well, look, I had to also go against the grain. I did have a guess. Who do you think my star performer is going to be? Just for a laugh.
You went with Gyökeres.
Yeah. What do you think I went with?
I think you went with Gyökeres as well.
Well, you're absolutely spot on. I mean, listen, you guys have been doing this show now for just over a year with me on Latte Firm, and you guys know that I've been raving about this boy. I'm so happy we got him. I know I when we were sort of pursuing both him and Šeško, and everyone sort of talked about the project and the 6'5" and the this, that, and the other of Benjamin Šeško. I thought, okay, all right, fine. Well, let's go with him. But the day we signed Victor, I'm so in love with this boy. I think he's going to do unreal things for Arsenal. I don't think it's going to take very long at all before you see him become the number one striker at the club. That's not to say that Kai Havertz is not going to get a looking, because I think Arteta's going to have different plans for him. They might play them together. He might play him at left 8. You know, there's all sorts of scenarios where Kai Havertz racks up the appearances as well. So absolutely not dismissing him, but I think Victor Gyökeres is going to be absolutely insane. And when you think about what Mourinho did as a defensive midfielder in a limited amount of game times last season, he scored so many goals. And the fact that we've not signed a proper centre forward, and despite that we've scored so many goals and come close in 2 league title races, and obviously last year was a massive disappointment. This guy's going to be the real deal. This guy's going to be the finisher, the gunman, the killer that we've all wanted for so long, and I feel it. I feel it in my bones, man. This guy is going to be the star of next season. I just hope he stays fit. I hope he scores his first league goal and gets that sort of monkey off his back and just is able to relax and just settle into the Arsenal team. And I also think the way he moves with the ball, off the ball, is going to be fantastic for the likes of Madueke and Saka, and in particular, Martin Odegaard. So super excited. I think this guy's going to notch up the goals. Go on, Yem.
Can I make one point as well? This is a completely off-piece point, but did you see that video of the Premier? They were doing the filming of the Premier League goal celebrations for different players. It's on Twitter. It was on X.
Yep.
Which one? Well, there was only one celebration that had the aura around it, and it was that one. That's the when you saw it, you were like, "That's a cold celebration. Nothing else works."
Mate, I've been waiting for this day. Indy, I'm telling you, if this man scores the winner at Old Trafford, I'm walking into Akbar saying, "Table for 4, please," covering my mouth. That's what I'm doing. They'll think I'm coming to raid the place, but that's what I'm doing. Peter says it's Glock o'clock. I like that. I hope he has the same impact, Jizzle McDizzle, same impact that Haaland did. Of course, that is the plan. Hopefully. And Gyökeres hat-trick on Sunday, says Mo. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. I mean, let me know in the chat. So many shouts for obviously Saka. Jonathan, Arteta going to Arteta, isn't he? After all that, Kai Havertz.
He's a psychopath, isn't he? He's a psychopath.
Lowry, this is a great shout. Gyökeres is the kind of striker that's just going to get goals, poacher penalties, will have an easier time going 2 or 3 up, where last season was only 1 and we ended with a draw. I think this guy's going to give us so much. He's going to make us cry with joy. I'm telling you. This guy's going to be absolutely sensational. Right, let's move on to our unexpected performer of next season. So this is someone who maybe has been written off, maybe he's been cast aside, maybe he's attracting a lot of unwanted attention. Someone who can turn it around and really deliver next season. Wayne, to start with you, you have gone with one of our new boys, Noni Madueke. Explain.
I just think that he's going to offer us things that we didn't necessarily have last season. In terms of when Saka disappeared, we didn't really have that option off the right. And I think we've seen on the left-hand side from the limited minutes in pre-season, he's very direct. He's very exciting. And he doesn't have the necessarily like quality chaos that we've cried for on the left-hand side. But he does things that Martinelli doesn't do. He does things that Trossard doesn't do. And he's very, very eye focused on getting forward. And you saw the little sort of cute cross to Gyökeres in that pre-season friendly the other day against Bilbao. And that's just the kind of qualities that he'll be able to bring. And there's just something that I know that we've kind of got used to inverted wingers recently at Arsenal. There's something so pleasing about watching a left-footed winger on the left-hand side going from out to in and just driving at their fullback. And again, he's just someone else that I think if you are in a situation where you need to break down a tough low block, if you're in a situation where you need to chase a goal, if you're in a situation where you need to counter attack, I think Madueke is really someone who can offer that for us. And I think that he's going to get a lot more minutes than maybe some Arsenal fans want to admit or want to kind of care for. And yes, we still need another left winger, but I do think that Madueke is really going to surprise a few and win, I suppose, a few doubters over.
I'm sorry if I'm looking distracted. There's some sort of beetle moth type thing that is on drugs in my room. It's flown through the window.
It's taking some of the Gaviscon.
It's on a mad one. It's like literally smashing into the wall with its head. Looks kind of feisty. There we are. Lots of shouts in the chat. Thank you for that, Noni Madueke. Lots of people agreeing with you, but lots of people in the chat just shouting Norgard. He's going to be the unexpected performer. Ben White says Mike Jones. I mean, Ben is a fantastic player. I don't think there's any sort of pressure on him. I think he's just going to come back from injury and hopefully just sort of hit the ground running. But Yem, you've gone slightly different in terms of your unexpected star of next season. You think he's going to get a bit more game time than most people are saying. Ethan Nwaneri.
Yeah, I think that Ethan is going to have more of an influence this season. I think he did very well, in a period last season, during, a couple of games where he was definitely the man. I think he looks stronger. He's looked better in pre-season. And that's the key to him. He's got to be available for the whole season and not drop off. But I think he's got the talent. The new position that he's going to occupy, which is obviously the Martin Ødegaard position, I think he's going to get more game time because I think it's shown, look, we love Martin Ødegaard, but the over-reliance on him is not ideal for Arsenal in any form, not necessarily for our competitiveness, but also as well, if in a game, Martin Ødegaard, does go missing in some games. That's just the facts. And you need something different. And Ethan Nwaneri gives us that. He's got a great shot. He's very good at dribbling, got a trick or two. I think he's in for a very good season. I can see him getting 10 goals, as someone's put it in the chat. I think he's going to get more game time. I think he's going to light up some games as well. I think he's going to, really come good at this season. And I think he's going to be, my unexpected performer. I think he's going to do really well.
How many games or appearances do you think he's going to make in the Premier League, Yembele? I mean, he's still a young boy, signed his new contract, tailed off towards the back end of last season, sort of petered out physically, just wasn't quite ready. Are you expecting maybe 10 appearances in the Premier League, maybe more than that?
I think more than that. I think in terms of starts, I expect him to get about, 10 or so. I think
10 starts for 1 year in the Premier League.
I think so.
Wow.
I think he's going to get to that level. I think once he starts a game, I think there will, after 1 or 2 games, he's going to become, into that stage where he's undroppable for a period. I don't think he's going to be throughout the season. I think there's going to come a point because, again, we are going to get into this run of, hopefully, where we're doing Premier League, Champions League, Premier League, Champions League, and it's going to be intense. I would rather make sure that we are fresh and that we are playing, in the lesser games. Not necessarily, not. I'm calling them lesser games, and I'm being very, I'm being disconcerting maybe a little bit. But those games like against the West Hams, etc., where you want something different, and I think Ranieri has got the tools to take over that Ødegaard role in those games without any issues. You've got to keep the squad fresh, and you've got a star boy here. We've got another one in the background, but he's not ready yet. Look, there's a lot of pressure on Max Dowman, but Ethan Ranieri, there's rightful pressure there. He's had a season now. He's come through. He's shown what he can do. It's now time to step up and show really that you've got a level above now what you can do. Show your physicality, show your robustness, get some goals, and influence games. That's what he's got to do. He's got to influence the games now. That's the big challenge, and I think he will do it.
There's lots of people that are backing you up, Yembele. I mean, apparently, and I've not checked this out, but a number of you have been saying for weeks now that he has made 38 appearances across all competitions, of course, last season, which is insane for a young lad. Paul James says Ranieri is going to play close to 30 games and start a third of them. We have to rotate, says 433. I'm saying minimum 15 starts. Ragamuffin Gunner says kill games off and we can use Ethan maximum, etc. in the last 15 plus, of course, the Carabao Cup. So, yeah, he might make a few appearances. Martin says 38 appearances, yes, but only 15 worth of 90s. I mean, look, he's a young boy to get 15, 20 minutes. And let's not forget, it's 15, 20 minutes that he gets is also 15, 20 minutes out of the legs of somebody who desperately needs the rest. Interesting shout there. Who do you think I've gone for? Unexpected performer of the year, chaps?
I think you would go for Kai Havertz.
I mean, it could be one of these two also. Let's not forget that, hence the sort of surprise element, but go on.
No, I think you're going for Kai Havertz.
I think you're going to go for... I think you're going for Noni. I'm going to go with Noni.
I do like Noni. I really like what he's got to offer. I've been saying that since day one. I think lots of shouts for Calafiori. Unexpected performer of the season next season. Some people shouting out Martinelli. Well, Tavo Ruiz has nailed it. I am backing, especially after this week, the skip. I think there are a lot of Arsenal fans, sad to say, who have completely turned on Martin Ødegaard, not only as captain of the football club, but also just as a player. And it's really sad to see. Like, they just don't rate him. And I know he's had a very, very difficult last season. Obviously, becoming a father, recovering from the serious injury in the first half of the season, didn't quite look the same. We talked on this show a few times just about how sort of frail he looked and how almost sort of, he got to a point where he looked so lean. We were wondering, like, what, is he unwell? Like, what's happening here? He's obviously had a season that I would imagine he wants to forget. And I think the reinforcement of him being captain, I think the boys standing behind him and the gaffer coming out so unequivocally today saying that he is, by a country mile, the club captain. I'm backing this boy to absolutely bounce back and just shut everyone up. And it's going to help because he's got outlets finally. Not only has he got the young people like Ranieri and Dowman and obviously Saka and Madueke now on that left-hand side, Martinelli and Trossard still hanging around the club, but also Victor Gyökeres. I think Gyökeres is going to be massive for Ødegaard. What Kai Havertz did as a forward, covering ground and working the channels and just distracting defenders, fantastic. What Ødegaard does that is so different to Havertz is those relentless runs in behind, playing off the shoulder off the defender, non-stop moving along the line, a bit like Ian Wright used to, so many people sort of say. I think that movement is going to distract defenders. It's going to open up spaces. And I think Ødegaard is going to find him time and time again. And I think he's going to absolutely smash it next year. I can't wait to see Ødegaard smash it. And I really hope that he does. Of course, there is a chance that he doesn't. There's a chance that, problems, challenges, physical challenges from last year sort of creep in. But I sincerely hope that he absolutely does it. Go on, yeah.
My question to you then, Faisal, how many assists do you think Ødegaard will get? Because obviously we measure it by that, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, what did he get in his best season? I want to say 15, 17, something like that.
It was 18, wasn't it? It was 18, wasn't it?
Not assists. His best season was goals, 15 goals. He's never really got like high numbers of assists for us since he came in, but he had that banging season where he had 15 goals, and that's not really his game. Like, that was kind of a surprise.
Some people aren't going to like it. Star Screamer, stop living in denial. Listen, this is we're just thinking. It's match day 1 for us. These are the predictions that I'm making. Bush as well said need to back our skipper. I mean, look, I think he's going to get double-digit goals, double-digit assists this season. I think he's back. I can't wait to see it, man. I want this to end in the most positive way, and I just think so many people have written him off, and it's been further sort of exacerbated by, of course, Tony Adams. People are entitled to their opinions. Imran, if you feel that captain or he shouldn't be in the team, I rate that. I respect that. It's your shout. For me, he is absolutely captain material. I'm proud to have him leading our team. I'm proud to have him playing in our team. And I can't wait for him to smash it this year. Tavo says 14 goals and assists. He's usually the pre-assist. Karen, that's a superb point. Jaffa also saying exactly the same thing. He is a pre-assist man. He does look healthier now, and I don't want to sort of start any speculations or rumors, but he looks he looks like he's had a few biryanis over the summer, which is good. And that's what we sort of joked about that, didn't we, last year? That he just send him to Mama FK's, man. Just have a nice, rice and prawn curry and dal, and just fill that belly up and just get back to your best. Well, there we go. Unexpected performer of the season. Lots of people talking about Martinelli, people talking about Calafiori, one or two other shouts, Kai Havertz. But of course, these are the 3 that we've gone with. And let's move on to, I should have maybe started the other way around, but our sort of most disappointing, I guess, or expected more. This time next year, we'll be looking back, or maybe 10 months from now, we'll be looking back thinking, right, who's this guy? Bloody hell, the size of that? Who's this guy? What am I talking about? I don't even know. Wayne, who have you gone for in terms of really expected more from this player this season?
There's a clip there where he's like, "Oh yeah, this is the expected more." Oh bloody hell, size of that someone could take out of context there. Yeah, I've gone for Calafiori for this one. The reason for that is solely because of injuries. I don't know if I can comfortably sit here and tell you, as FK commits murder live on your YouTube airwaves.
With my Pepsi can. Look at what I've just done to the bottom of the can.
I don't know if I can comfortably. Yeah, I don't know if
he ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3.
Rush Hour 3.
Go on. What we got?
You've lost all flow.
I don't know what are we talking about today. Reggie says Jurassic Beetle, 10 million years in the making. That's a massive. Wow, I can't even.
You do live near a forest, pretty much, don't you?
No,
so,
mate, some of the stuff that we see flying through the windows around here, mate. Honestly, right. Let's start again. Expecting more from. This is the player that you're probably going to be disappointed by come the end of the season, Wayne. And you've gone for Riccardo Calafiori.
Yeah, it's just mainly due to the injuries. I don't think he will stay the full season fit. I think when he plays, I think he'll be fantastic, and I think he'll offer us a hell of a lot wherever he's playing, whether it's at left back, whether it's at striker, whether it's in the middle of the pitch, depending on what mood he's feeling on the day. But yeah, I think for me, it's Calafiori solely because I think he'll play a game and then be missing for 2 or 3 games, and then come back and play a game and then miss for another 5 games. And I think that might just let us down over the course of the season.
There's a couple of shouts here for Gabby Martinelli. I wonder who else is going to be named here. Martinelli for me, says Rob El Madi. When he was firing in tandem with Saka a couple of years back, we looked at a completely different team. His regression has hurt us considerably. Whoa. Karen says, get a mosquito net for the windows. Every now and again, we do get mosquitoes, and we don't have nets in the UK. There's a lot of people that say that. Uncreative handle name says, expected more. Martinelli is his shout for next year. A couple of shouts here for Jesus and Marino. Yembele, you've gone for some. Actually, to be fair, I saw this and I'm amazed he's not been mentioned in the chat. But this is subject to him staying, of course. That's a bit of a clue. Yem?
Yeah, this one's pretty obvious. I mean,
it's just a cop out, really. This is just an easy answer.
Yeah, he's not really gone for anyone difficult, has he?
What do you mean expected more? Oh, I expected him to play.
No, I expected him to actually give a damn about in the game. This is the point. This is my biggest point. That look, Zinchenko has thrown his toys out of the pram, literally, at this one. Oh, my wife is not happy that I'm not being seen at the games. My daughter doesn't see me in the games. Do better, mate. That's why you're not in the team. Stop crying about it and actually do some defending for once. Don't think that you're this amazing player who can, yes, you can control the ball really well, but you can't defend for anything. Yeah, I don't get this whole thing that there should be, just because he's done something in one team and then he was decent. Yeah, I expected
He
more.
was disappointed because he expected more from his autobiography.
No, I didn't expect more. I got exactly what I expected. A whiny.
Well, look, if he stays, there's no way I don't think we're going to sell him. I don't think anyone's going to come close to the salary that he's on, and we're certainly not going to get any money for him. I know there's rumors about maybe one or two Turkish teams or whatever. Fabrizio Romano, if you're watching, can you just tweet something like lots of interest in Zinni? If any clubs in England want him at all, they got to act like tomorrow. Please, just tweet something like that. G up the interest. All the other clubs seem to bloody do it. I mean, look, if he's going to stay, he's not going to have much game time. He's going to take loads and loads of money. And when he comes on, he's just going to drive Arsenal fans nuts because he takes too many touches on the ball, and he's obviously defensively suspect. I suspect that's
he's not bothered either. He's not bothered either. You can see it in him. He's just not bothered anymore. And it's just so annoying that he talks too much and does nothing on the pitch about it. If you're truly a top level player, and this is his problem, he's not a top level player. He thinks he is, just because he's playing for a team that unfortunately is going through something. That doesn't make you top level. You show your top level by actually working in adversity. But crying about that his wife can't see him and his kids can't see him. Oh, geez, you're getting 150k a week. My heart bleeds for you, mate. Sorry, you got nothing there. He needs to show that he can actually improve, but he doesn't want to. You can see it. He just wants, again, this whole victim mentality kind of thing is just, I'm tired of it. If he doesn't go, then yeah, he's the one that will, you expect more of, but I don't expect anything, to be honest.
I mean, when we signed him, he came with so much promise because he had such a good time at City and won so many trophies, and technically everyone talked about him being such a great footballer, and of course, started off under Arteta, the inverting sort of left back, and did such a great job. And I think this is just a case of where a football club just grows and has surpassed his ability and his needs. I still think he's a very good player. I don't think he's a bad player. Obviously, he can't be a bad player. I mean, he's won so much and had such a sort of, distinguished career. I just think he's on such high wages at Arsenal. He must have been on, relatively low at City. He's come to Arsenal and earned an absolute fortune. And with a year to go, his family, he probably settled in London, loves the London lifestyle, loves, being an Arsenal player. There's no incentive for him to move on. So I think he's absolutely going to stay. And I don't think he's going to give us much of a return next season.
But do you agree, what do you think about this, his start, this whole thing with the autobiography? I just think it's the wrong approach. If you truly are worried about your place, show that you deserve a place. He doesn't deserve it at the moment. He's done nothing to show it. He's not improved. He's still this nonchalant player who does nothing when he comes on except pass the ball very nicely. Doesn't affect games, doesn't tackle well. Why do this and then not show your worth on the pitch? It just boggles my mind when you're at that level, which he isn't. I think we massively overpaid for him. I think he did well for the first season, but he's not what we paid for effectively. In my eyes, I think he's just a very average footballer with good technique.
Paz of the Cat says it's so limited. Yeah, you realise he's got family in Ukraine, right? I'm not happy either. The idea that he doesn't care. I mean, there's obviously a lot of deep stuff going on with Zinchenko and the family, and of course his people in Ukraine. As a player and what he's done for Arsenal, I can't knock it. He's been a decent servant at a time when we desperately needed to do something to try and move the needle and help us climb the table. And I just feel that we going from sort of 8th to 5th to 4th, 3rd, whatever it is probably his level. And trying to compete for a Premier League title in a league that is relentless, and in a league where you've got forwards who are physically robust and strong and faster, can beat you and go through you and go past you and go over you. It's just not his game anymore, So I think if there's a London club, or if there's a different club in the Premier League that is interested in taking him, that would be fantastic. And yeah, do you know what? Footballers, they should not be writing books before you've retired. I mean, and why are you writing books at like 28 years of age? I mean, you've not even lived. There we are. Any guesses for my expected more?
Martinelli.
Waynetta?
I think one of the defenders. I don't know which one.
Ooh. You don't know who, though? Okay. Well,
no,
it's not a defender, and it's not Martinelli, but it is a wide player, and it's Leo. I'm telling you, this guy has been finished for so long. He has to go. He's not going to go. He's not going to go. Wayne, he's not going to go. No one is buying him. He is going to be here as part of Arsenal squad next season. He is going to drive me absolutely up the wall and back down it. Look, first 6 months he came, notched up a few assists, scored a few goals, and scored a few clutch goals at clutch moments. I cannot deny that. Brilliant. And as batshit as this is going to sound, when he's not scoring goals or when he's not getting assists, he does nothing in a game, and it drives me so crazy. He's just not very good. And I know we're going to keep him. He's going to get games off the bench. I don't know how many. Yeah, can you do me a favor? Google using your supercomputer. How many appearances did he make last year? How many goals did he get in the league?
He made a lot of appearances. Actually, he was one of our.
Give me his return.
He made the most appearances last season from anyone.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he did actually.
Really? Yes. Yeah, John, you're right. I am very much a hater. He's really frustrating. I find it. And the fact that the club were entertaining a contract for a higher salary, I just find
so. So last season, 38 games, 8 goals, 8 assists. Champions League, 14 games, 2 goals, 2 assists. Played in the Carabao and played in the FA Cup once.
Just give us the totals, Yem. What are you doing?
56 games total.
He played 56 times and scored what? 10 goals?
10 goals.
I mean,
that's not a bad return.
Every 5-6 games isn't bad.
10 assists as well.
I don't know where my dislike comes from. Like, and there's people out there that absolutely adore him. I think it's Wally, basically. Wally rates him, and I flipping hate Wally for that. I don't see it. I don't see it, and I find him very frustrating.
I'm going to ask you both again in 2 weeks' time when they're both gone, but you've both gone for the easy route here.
We'll do that. I think, yeah, I'm disappointed. Oh, man, I've taken an L tonight. It is rare. You're right, though. You're absolutely right. Maybe I just don't like short people. Yeah, Omar, you're absolutely right. It could be that. Trossard just doesn't have the aura. Right, okay, let's move on to Golden Boot winner before we talk about league title finishes and domestic cups and wrap up by looking ahead to United. Oh, no, I've just given it away. Signing of the season. Well, I've done it already. Wayne, this is signing of the season across the league, and I'm assuming you don't mean Eze for Arsenal? Is Eze going to be the player of the season for you, the signing of the season next year?
Yeah, I think he's going to be the signing of the season, whether it's for Arsenal or Spurs. If he does move, I just think he's ready to go up a level. And it will be so sad to see him do that at Spurs because I think he's the type of player that we really, really need. Now, I don't think we should be getting him, if it's a choice of straight up Eze or a pure out-and-out left winger, Rafa Leao, Rodrigo, Anthony Gordon, for example. I think we need a left winger more, but the reality is we need both. We need a left winger. We need more creativity. We need playmaking. So, yeah, I think whoever gets Eze, and I hope it is us, I think he would be the signing of the season, just because you saw what he was capable of for Palace for the last couple of years, and that's a Palace side that doesn't necessarily have the highest caliber of player, and they don't set up in a way that can really help Eze express himself. I think Eze is one of those players that you put him around better players, he just gets better and better. And the fact that he's 27 doesn't concern me. I just think he's a fantastic, fantastic player.
Sol asks, can someone on here please tell me where Zubimendi is? Well, go on, Yin, why don't you answer that?
I'm keeping consistent. He's my player of the season. He's going to be the signing of the season. What a player he's going to be. He is already. I mean, you know, I love this boy already, and he is going to be my player of the season. I agree with Wayne that Eze is going to be fantastic wherever he goes. I think he'd be platform better at Arsenal because there is better players at Arsenal. Tottenham's level is not there. Let's be honest. You're playing with Richarlison or Gyökeres. It's not a hard choice, people. Come on. But Zubimendi is definitely my player of the signing. Is going to be the signing of the season. He's just different gravy. I can't. I just reiterating what I said before. He's just such a good player. He's only played 4 or 5 games, and he already looks top notch. Can you imagine once he's bedded in properly? Wow, he's going to be just one of the signings that we've made.
Forder, as many people are saying, yep, Zubi. Yeah, you got a lot of support here, Yem. Nasir says, I have Zubimendi as man of the match at United. Let's hope so. I have basically
gone for Victor Gyökeres.
No. No, I haven't, because
You are a disgrace to your
Are you going
federation.
to Isaac? Are you going for Isaac or something
this
like
is
that?
it's because it's going to break me, man. It's,
Oh, for God's sakes, I knew it.
mate. We have to be honest. If Alex Isak signs for Arsenal, he is going to be the.
If, why are
Alex
you two
Isak
doing
signs
ifs?
for Liverpool,
You're doing both
he's done.
ifs. I've gone with the one that's happened.
Okay, I mean, look, a few people have said in the chat, if Arsenal win the league and Victor Gyökeres, it's going to be Gyökeres. What a signing! Yeah, it could be obviously Zubimendi. I just think Alex Isak, as much as we dislike Liverpool, is frankly an outrageous player, and if he moves to Liverpool, he will no doubt just be the best signing in the Premier League. Like,
But
you
again,
can't argue it.
yeah, but this is an if, isn't it? What about the now? Because if, do you know what that famous line that they had on this morning? You know, if my grandma had the wheels, he'd chew him a bike. You know, it's this kind of thing. Why are you doing ifs, both of you? Have you not seen that one where it's the cook says, "If my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike"?
The accent, yeah.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
But
And I know exactly that clip. But I thought it was Italian.
Yeah, but who's your one for now? Who's the one now? Both of you.
Yeah, to be fair, that's a fair challenge to Wayne, because Eze hasn't actually
Both of
signed
you.
for anyone
Both
yet.
of
Eze
you.
is more likely to move than Isak. What do you mean?
Yeah, but neither
Both
has
of you.
signed for anyone just yet. Larry says fair play. Someone has to say it as it is. Isak and Ekitike is pure greed, says Chrome. Yeah, I only chose him because he's tall. An actual signing that is going to make the difference. Ooh.
Don't say anything else but Martin
Do you know what?
Zubimendi. Come on.
No. Are we? If we're talking not Arsenal, I really like the move of João Pedro to Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good signing. Unfortunately, I don't think it's enough to make them better than us, but I think João Pedro to Chelsea is a really good signing. If you're talking about signing of the season for Arsenal, yeah, it's obvious to say sort of Zubimendi, Gyökeres, but I actually think that come the end of the season, we'll be looking at the signing of Mosquera in a very, very good way. I think that a lot of people have kind of fallen in love with him over pre-season, and I think just the fact that Mosquera can give Saliba 1, 2, 5 games off, whatever it might be, will just make Saliba even better. So, yeah, either if you're talking non-Arsenal, I think João Pedro, but if you're talking Arsenal, outside shout for Mosquera.
Well, obviously, our viewers know ball.
Stop it.
Xhaka. And Tavo's backing it up. I mean, Garnacho to Chelsea, we are sleeping on him. Florian Wirtz is a great shout. He'd be a fantastic signing for Liverpool. I know he's a bit of a car crash tonight. Disaster, says RM tonight. The boy thinks he's Ozil trying to be so casual. João Pedro, Imran agrees. Potentially also Florian Wirtz at Liverpool. I think, Grealish to Everton is decent. United, who we're playing first, they've made some good signings. I mean, like, Sesko is obviously a good player. Mateus Cunha is someone that I would have quite liked to have seen at Arsenal in that left eight. Brian Mbeumo, we all talked about him as a potential wide player. So they've done some pretty good business. If Baleba goes as well, that's not bad. Reinders at Man City, what a player he is. I mean, geez.
Ornstein has said, by the way, that Baleba probably isn't going this summer.
Yeah, one or two people said that in the chat earlier. In terms of Arsenal signings, I've got to go Victor, because I mean I've said that he's going to be the star of the season. So yeah, but listen, if this move happens, and I fully expect it to, because Liverpool sold some other nerd today for about £25 million to Bournemouth. There's a Anfield 96. I think there's a social media account on socials, and sort of did a little total of all the players that Liverpool have sold. Like £250 million worth of players have shifted this summer, and they didn't spend anything last summer, and that is exactly why they're prepared to spend $500 million in one summer. And I think it's going to be Isak. I hate to say it, guys, ladies and gents, boys and girls, if they get him, it is a good signing. Tavo says Cunha and Sesko for United. Jizzle Madizzle there just saying Brian Mbeumo. Wow, lots of people are United. They've moved fast. They've moved quick. Laurie says Wirtz was class, little flicks and 1-2s. It hurts, but he is a steal. I can't say he's a steal, but it does hurt because he's a top player. Right, golden boot time before we talk about where we'll finish in the league and where we might progress in the cup competitions. Now, you've both gone for the same player, which really annoys me. And he is, ladies and gents, boys and girls, let me know in the chat who you think Golden Boot's going to be. Erling Haaland.
What? Oh mate, he's had a good summer. He's had a good summer.
these
He's had a good
pictures.
summer. He's had a good summer, hasn't he?
He's had a great summer. I mean, just, do you know what? It's getting to the stage now. If you Google Haaland fat, there are pictures now where his head is so massive, right? That it's just the funniest thing. Now, listen, we're obviously a very serious and professional outfit, so we're gonna, you know, go back to the truth.
I prefer the other one,
but I had to. Yeah, I know you do. I had to include that. When the first thing I found when I searched Haaland was literally that picture, and I fell off my chair. So tell me, slags, why have we gone for Erling Haaland, Manchester City, Golden Boot winner?
He's just a cyborg. He's a robot that's been built just to score goals and do nothing else. And after, do you know what? He finished second to Salah in the Golden Boot last season, I think. In what was a poor year for him and poor year for City, and he still banged in however many goals. Yeah, he's just on another level. And I just think of strikers, like, he's the best in the world. And yeah, I just don't ever see him not scoring. Like, whenever he plays, you always kind of think, yeah, he's gonna get 50 a season. It's just superb in front of goal.
I mean, we just had a comment there, Yembele, from someone saying, Chrome, it's just obvious, to be honest. Is it that straightforward for you, mate? Was there no one who came close? I mean, Nasir says always bet on Salah.
No, Salah's a fantastic player, but if you're looking for the consistency, someone who's guaranteed to get you goals, as Wayne said, the boy is a robot. He doesn't, you know, he's consistent all the time. He will get a chance and he will score. If you give him that chance, he will get the goals. And I think Salah had a good season last season because Liverpool over-relied on him a little bit. Everything went through him. They don't do that at the moment. You know, looking at how they've started the season, it's kind of all over the place now. And although he got the goal tonight, I still think Haaland is the one to beat. I think, you know, there's very few strikers who are top echelon, and he's done it now for so many seasons. And I think this season again, he's going to be the top man.
Well, you say there's very few strikers that are in the top echelons of football. Our gunman.
No.
He's doing it. I'm telling you.
Oh, you didn't want to have Isak? You didn't want to put Isak there, did you?
No, because Liverpool have so many forwards that I think Isak is going to be an amazing signing for them. But I don't think they'll play Ekitike. They'll play Cody fucking Gakpo, man. He's just so annoyingly good. But Victor Gyökeres, man, this is his season. This is his time. Mate, I'm telling you, no one cared about him until he put on the mask, and here he is. I mean, what can I say? I think this boy, I've said to all of you watching that he's going to be my star of the season. And of course, he couldn't be Arsenal star of the season and then not win the Golden Boot. I think he's going to be a goal scoring machine, boys. Can't wait for it. How
many goals then? How many goals then? Go on, put a number on it.
Hannah of Arsenal says, big up the lads. Thank you, Hannah of Arsenal. Hope you're well, my friend. How many goals? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go slightly different. I think he will get 0.75, 0.8 goals per game. So if he plays...
What?
Oh,
for God's sake. What do you mean?
Exactly. That's a cop-out.
How is that a cop-out?
If you're saying he's going to win the Golden Boot, how many goals does he get to win that Golden Boot?
Exactly. Come on.
So I'm assuming he's obviously going to be our main striker, right? So if he were to play 38 goals this season at a strike rate of 0.8
for God's sakes
per game, he'll get 30 goals.
When did
30 goals in 30
trying to become
starts. There you go. That's the rate. That's the rate at which he's going to score. 30 goals in 38 games. That is my shout. I think Victor Gyökeres is going to be unbelievable. Mike Jones says 28 goals. Manny says 25 goals. O'Malley says 26. 25 plus in all competitions, and he will be on penalties as well. Let's not forget that. DJ D10 says, okay, I see you and raise you. 31. Manny says 20 Premier League goals. Nasir, sticking to his guns, Havertz is going to have a breakout season, and Chrome says 19 for me. FK spending too much time with Pythagoras. Utter woke nonsense, says
Hand of Arsenal's got it spot on
there.
What is this?
Says, big up the lads, and within 30 seconds, he's tearing it down.
When did you put on your Tactico hat that has never existed? What is this?
I'm telling you, mate. Stop talking. Stop speaking in Excel and spreadsheets. Dan says, would love to see 25 plus. Mate, I think this guy's going to do it. He just has to stay fit. That's all I ask. Victor, just stay fit. And Erdegaard and Saka and the lot, they will feed you, my boy. I can't wait to see it. Practic is there, mate. He's there. Right. Now let's move on to the best bits. How far are we going to go? The Premier League title race. Come on, lads. Rip the plaster off. Yeah, let's start with you now. Are we going to win this Premier League title? I know the answer.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Change your mind since coming on air.
I'm not. No. Hold on. No. My heart
I just got you gassed with Victor Gyökeres, didn't I?
Yeah. No. My heart says yes. My head, unfortunately, is more logical, and it says Liverpool are still the favourites. But my heart says.
So you don't think Arsenal are going to win the league?
Pick a lane. Stop sitting on the fence.
Honestly,
you two did it. If they sign this,
Arsenal, yeah. But you know what? Actually, my head says Liverpool. That means you think Liverpool.
Mr. Tactico, just sit down in the corner for a minute and just, ensure that
so Liverpool winning the league.
XG.
Is that what you're saying? Liverpool winning the league?
Yeah, I think Liverpool win the league, logically.
What's the logic then? Come on.
No, logically, they will win the league. They're
I know you said that, but what is the logic?
They've still got the same, they're looking tonight, they've got an incredible front line. They're still going to blag games effectively. And if they get Alexander Isak, which we all know will be likely, then they're almost a basketball team, but they'll outscore everybody pretty much.
Yeah, their chance creation is frankly ridiculous.
What was their chance creation tonight, actually?
0.8.
Was it?
0.8 on the XG spreadsheet.
Faisal should know that. He should have said that before.
No, they create chance after chance after chance, and if Isak goes there, then yeah, you're probably right. Wayne, you think it's gonna be a good year for us? Why? I
do. I really, really do. I think this is the year we win the league.
Do you know what? I know you're this is mind game. This is what you do. Yeah. You're saying, yeah, Arsenal going to win the league, blah, 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 blah. And then when Arteta doesn't do it, you'll be the first one to just knife him in the back. I know your game.
No.
I'm familiar with it.
Listen, if we don't win it this year, it's done. We're never going to win it. It has to be realistically, it has to be now or never. We've kind of done the majority of the stuff, but no, look. All jokes aside, I think this is the year we do it, simply because I think the top three are all very good and very bad in different ways. I think Manchester City are fantastic creativity-wise, goal-wise with Haaland, but defensively, I think City are a bit of a mess, but they have Pep, and Pep is the best in the world. Liverpool, even if they sign Isak, there's an unbalance there that is just a little bit weird. Defensive midfield. You saw today, they were leaving two defenders back. Now,
more open than a drive-through brothel. But yeah, there you go.
Listen, they might score 4 goals a game, but they're going to concede a lot. It's going to be an adjustment for them because there's a whole overhaul of players that have gone out. There's a whole overhaul of players that have come in. And there's a lot more pressure on them, I guess, now as champions because they've got the target on their back. For us, yes, we need a left winger still. But I'm hopeful that the system and the setup and the shape that we saw against Bilbao, we take into the season. We're deeper than ever before in terms of our squad depth. We've got a lot more tools than we had last year. And more importantly, right now, today, we're fit. We have no issues injury-wise. We've got no one that, apart from Calafiori, we have no one that is injury-prone really anymore. We've kind of sorted that situation out. So I think, look, this year, it has to be the year we do it because we can't keep finishing second. And I think all jokes aside and all of the conversations about Arteta, if we don't do it this year, I said it on the show before, we're kind of out of all of the excuses. We've had the refs, we've had PGMOL, we've had not drawing the lines against Brentford, we've had the injuries, we've had the red cards, we've had the lack of squad depth, we've had no striker, we've had everything. This just has to be the year. Just give us a normal year. If we stay away from injuries, I give us a really, really good chance. But I think the top three are all very, very close.
I think Manchester City are still obviously looking for one player. They've just let Jack Grealish grow, £100 million written off. James McAtee, they've just somehow managed to generate just shy of 30 million quid. They've got something that Pep is cooking. I think obviously Arne Slot has made it no secret he wants another forward. It could be Alex Isak, and if it is, then obviously that's a massive blow, bitter blow to our chances. What I would say is that we have addressed a number of really important roles in the squad, and I think last year falling short, not having the depth, not having the cover, not allowing players to rest and rotate, that was the need this year over marquee signings. We managed to get some really good players in, and I think that we are much better equipped than last season. And last season, we drew 14 games in the league. I think we've done enough in the transfer window to convert half of those into wins. And if we do that, that is the point tally. I think defensively, we're going to be as good, if not better, because Ben White is back. Mosquera is obviously there. Kivior is going to have that sort of 3 month towards the back end of season run where he's got confidence, got the Golden Glove goalkeeper and a really good, reliable backup. Midfield wise, to add Zubimendi, phenomenal. Norgard, the floor of the midfield sort of group, really, top player, Premier League proven, club captain, blah, blah, blah. Up front, needed goals, got a gunman. We talked about him enough tonight's show and, of course, throughout the summer. Noni Madueke, not everybody's cup of tea on the wide side, but we needed that. We needed numbers. And if we end up keeping Martinelli and Trossard and we somehow integrate Wanieri and Dauman, it's a really, really good collection of players. And Kai Havertz, of course, he looks fitter and stronger. I'm sure you've all seen that video today of him sprinting past Gabriel in training. Don't know what he's been doing over the summer, but I like it. I think we've done really good business. And I think even with or without Eze or without anybody else, there is enough there in the tank to go from 14 draws to 6-7 draws and maybe 4 or 5 wins and maybe even a couple of defeats. I don't know. But we need to just move away from draws. And that's enough. So I really fancy us for the title this year. I just feel, though, if Liverpool were to get Isak in the next week or two, that will drastically change my thoughts. But for now, tonight, the morning of the 16th of August, I think we're there. Right, final slides, ladies and gents, boys and girls. How far are we going to go? Wayne, it's only right that we start with you. The Carabobbins on the left-hand side, the FA Cup in the middle, and, of course, Big Ears on the right-hand side. What do you have us winning? How far do you have us going? So tell us sort of, what round do you think we're going to get to? And if we don't win it, who do you think will win the competition? So Wayne, starting with you, left to right. Carabobbins up first.
Carabobbins, I think we win it this year. I've got to stick to brand. We have to. Like I've said, in my existence as an Arsenal fan, we won it when I was 2 years old. I've never knowingly, willingly acknowledged us winning it because I've never seen it. I think this is the year we win it. Do you know the reason, realistically, though, is because I think our second team is better than most other second teams. And until the semi-final or final stage, most of the big teams will be playing their rotation side. And I think our second team is better than the majority. So I think we will win that this year. And I think that's what will propel us into an end-of-season run of however many wins on the bounce that then sees us win the Premier League. FA Cup and Champions League, I have us going both out in the quarterfinal stage. Unfortunately, just because I don't think obviously we'll be able to sustain a treble charge or a quadruple charge. That's nearly impossible. But I think FA Cup wise, we'll go a little bit further than usual. But by the time the quarterfinals come, we'll probably get a tough draw against the Liverpool, against the Man City, probably away from home, and we'll get pipped by the odd goal. And I think Champions League, we've done fantastic, obviously, last year. But I think that some teams will probably take the league phase a little bit more seriously this time around. So we might not necessarily finish as high as third. We might get a tougher draw a little bit earlier. And I know we kind of walked over Real Madrid last year, but I don't expect Real Madrid to be as bad as they were last season. If we were to face them, I think Barcelona have got better. I think sort of other teams like Liverpool will probably avoid like the PSGs and probably go a little bit further. And PSG right now are on top of the world. So yeah, I think quarterfinals for the Champions League, quarterfinal for the FA Cup, win the Carabao and win the Premier League.
Interesting. Premier League and Carabao double. Yem, how do you think we're going to fare?
Carabobbins, I don't really care at all. I said to you in my text, give that to Wayne. It's a tin pot.
Like I said,
he did. He was like, just give it to Wayne.
Wembley. When we get there in February, don't come. I don't want to see you there.
If I'm being realistic, I think quarterfinals for the Carabao Cup. I think we'll play a lot of youngsters. FA Cup, I think we'll win. Champions League, I think we'll get to the finals. I think the FA Cup,
as in the final
of the Champions League. I think so with the FA Cup, I think again, as Wayne said, our second string is a lot better, and I think we'll see that quite early because I think the fixture pile up in January does tend to cause us a problem if we play our first 11. But again, I expect the computer to as well have a bug and put us in a fixture with a big club as usual. We've had that for a number of years now. The Champions League phase seems to suit us a lot better, actually. I think we do well in the league phase. And I think we're still very well equipped to go through to the final. I mean, given how last year, even in the the later stages, we were playing with our weakened side, without Saka, without Havertz. We did. I was really impressed with how we went about it and how awkward he made it for teams. So I think we'll get through to the finals, and I think winning it, that's a big one because I still think we're going to come up against the Barcelona. I think Barcelona look a very strong side this year. It just depends on how they register, if they can register players, because it looks like they can't register Rashford or Juan Garcia at the moment because, as usual, they have their usual problems with finances. So yeah, but I think we'll do well in the cup competitions. I just think FA Cup win, Champions League, we'll get to the final.
I will go slightly different. I don't think we're going to get as far in the Champions League as we did last season, sadly. Obviously, last year was a spectacular run to come up against Real Madrid and brush them aside the way that we did, and of course, come up short against PSG. I think there's a lot of clubs that have strengthened, and the Champions League is going to be a very difficult competition next year and a little bit more unpredictable. I'd love to see us go strong, but I think what we've done in terms of personnel, I just think we lack. We've not made any marquee signings. We've not added really that sort of gold. Is it gold dust? Is that the word that I'm trying to think of? It's been bugging me now for a while. Yeah, like yet. Yeah, okay. But it doesn't feel like we're going to we're going to have that signing that's going to win games out of nothing. Like, I think everything that we've done has been very practical, very logical. I think it puts us in much greater stead for the Premier League. I couldn't care about the Carabao bins, but of course, if we get to Wembley, we'll get there. I think Mikel Arteta cares about it. I think we're going to go strong in the FA Cup because to go out last year in the third round on penalties to United was heartbreaking at home. And I think Arteta's going to want to address that. You know what? I think it's going to be a good old League Cup double for Arsenal. Heritage, Premier League title, FA Cup double in the summer sun. And that would do me just nicely. So that is what I am thinking in terms of that. I mean, obviously, we don't know how this is going to go. I would say I agree with you, Em. I do think the league nature of the Champions League does kind of suit. I think it's a fantastic format. I didn't think it would be as exciting as it was last year. We just got to make sure we qualify. But there are going to be some really good teams. And of course, you can't predict things. It's a cup competition. So you can't really sort of say anything. But I think we're going to go stronger in the FA Cup this year. I think we're going to go all the way in the Premier League. So that is how I would like to end the show. So look, first game of the season on Sunday. We'll look forward to that tomorrow and on Sunday in particular with Alice Talks Footy, Manchester United fan. But I couldn't not ask you about your thoughts on the game, chaps. I mean, it's the first one. It's not the ideal way to start the opening sort of season for us. But Manchester United, you're looking forward to it? I mean, I wanted to take you both. You can't say I didn't. I had tickets for both of you, but neither of you have accepted. But what do you make of it all? Are we going to get off to a winning start, Yen?
Yeah, I think we can. I think United have strengthened very well in the front line. There's no doubt about that. That midfield and that back line are poverty. You've got Casemiro and Ugarte, and Bruno Fernandes is a good player, but Ugarte and Casemiro can't. His legs have gone. So I think our midfield will dominate that one. It's just about how our attack clicks. I think United will score because I can't see them not scoring, but I'm going with the 2-1 Arsenal. I said it on my podcast, Red Lines Half Spaces, and I think I'm still thinking that 2-1 to Arsenal. Victor Gyökeres to score, Victor Gyökeres and Saka to score, and then Sesko to score, which is really annoying, but it's sod's law, isn't it?
Wayne, can I tell you, Manchester United have lost just 2 of their last 18 Premier League home games against Arsenal. 2. They've won 10, drawn 6. Now we did win there last time round.
No, we didn't.
We drew. We drew last time.
Drew. What did we win the year before?
You win before, yeah.
Okay. Drew last year, won the year before. What do you think?
I think you're going. So, yes, Manchester United have lost 2 of the last, however many you said. Your record is 1 in the last, 18 or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you're going. We're wearing the beautiful white kit on Sunday. And
I don't think it's a good thing. Why have we done this? We don't do well in white. Have we even played in this white? Do the boys even know what each other look like in the white? I think it's a risk.
It is. And the script writers have put Gyökeres against Sesko. When the script writers have gone against Arsenal, it doesn't end well. I don't know why. And listen, I hope that we win. I really, really do. With a better side, we should be winning. I can just see a meltdown and a dirty United 2 goals from 2 shots when we've peppered their goal, and Onana finally decides to grow arms, and we lose to them, and then that's their only win for like 6 months.
They got no defense. Their defense is poverty. Their midfield is awful.
Look, I'm gonna
FK is going. He's in attendance.
We've been going long enough. We are going to Manchester United, and we are going there to win, and we will win. That is all I'm going to say. Arsenal are going to go to Old Trafford. We're going to get the 3 points, and we're going to start magnificently to this season. And I think we're going to be comfortable as well. Manchester United, they're not going to be wanting to play Arsenal. They're not going to, they can big it up all they like, home game, this, that, and the other. They are a shambles of a football club in complete disarray top to bottom. They might have done a bit of good business because they've trebled, quadrupled salaries of mediocre players from mediocre teams. But we are going there to win, and we will get that win. That's where we're going to leave it, ladies and gents. What a long show it's been here tonight, hour and 45. If you are tuning in late, please do, of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you've enjoyed the content. You can get these available as podcasts, audio podcasts on Apple, Spotify, etc., etc. So do listen on those platforms. And if you enjoy listening there, please do leave us a good rating. We'll be back tomorrow with a slightly different type of daily grind. I've really enjoyed the daily grinds. The summer is gone. Yeah, I can't believe it. The couple of months have just flown by. So what we will do in terms of rota and scheduling and programming, I will let you know. And then, of course, Alice Talks Footy, huge Manchester United fan, tremendous channel, will be joining me live at 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday to preview the game. I want to get her thoughts on what she thinks Arsenal could achieve this season. I want to get her thoughts on Ruben Amorim's men as well. If anybody wants to follow any of these 2 bandits, Yembele just shouted out very subtly his podcast, Red Lines and Half Spaces. He's available at Verge 59. Wayne, also available on the Audio World, Can You Believe It podcast, brilliant podcast. He is at Wayne's World 20_. Chaps, it's been fun. Enjoy the weekend. It is going to be much cooler starting tomorrow.
No one's going out tomorrow, FK. There's 11 a.m. kickoff.
It's just Barclays, isn't it?
Is it 11 a.m. kickoff?
Well, no, TNT show coverage will start it. Like, you should.
I don't want. Why do you watch it?
You're a TNT analyst. Watch your words.
That's true. You're watching it for me. You're watching it for me, aren't you? That's
to be fair. I'll be honest with you, ladies and gents, boys and girls. I didn't even know the Premier League kicked off today.
I know he didn't know who kicked off. He messaged me.
Yembele sent me a message going, "Oh yeah, after the football tonight," and I was like, "What football?" And I looked it up and I was like, "Liverpool playing." Oh my gosh!
Honestly, you say this man is a football man. Honestly, people, I don't know.
Just don't give me a break. Thank you so much for all the kind words in the chat as you guys are leaving the chat. Really, really appreciate it, and appreciate all of you and the channel members. Hope you've had a wonderful week. Continue enjoying the content. Really appreciate your support of the channel, and Patreon members as well. Remember, at the very start of the show, you have a chance to be part of the audience to listen to Mikel and Steve Kerr talk about leadership in London in a couple of weeks' time. Be my guests. Look after yourselves. Take care. Sleep well. Stay cool. The Barclays is here. On we go to Old Trafford. Take care. Bye for now.